Okay, now that we have the portfolio built, we can test the portfolio to make sure it works. Now, just going back to where we were, we have the returns multiplied by the weights, subtracting the risk-free rate. So let's go to the bottom, control down, and I need to have the average. So type here just equal average, period, control up. And we got it. We need to have the volatility, or the standard deviation, so equal STD EV, and we can do populations or sample, doesn't really matter, we'll do sample, period, control up, and we have it. Let's put these all in a nice number format here, and those for sharp. We need to have the average return, and this average has already had the risk-free rate subtracted, divided by the standard deviation. That's the sharp ratio. To do trainer, we need to have the beta, because the trainer is just equal to the average divided by the beta. Well, what's beta? Beta is the slope. So the slope, we have the y's first. The y's are the portfolio. So right here, period, control down, comma, and the x's are the market. Right there, period, control down, and that's your beta. And then the trainer measure right there. Next, we need Jensen's alpha. In order to get Jensen's alpha, we go to data, and we have the data analysis toolbar, which you don't see right here. So we go to file, double click the file, go to file, go to options, go to add-ins, and from add-ins you have analysis toolpack. Click go, and then click on analysis toolpack. When you want solver, we click that solver as well. Click OK, and then just wait for a second. And data analysis comes up right here. So go to data analysis, in alphabetical order, go to regression, click OK. I need a Y range, so the Y is going to be, notice I'm including the label, so I'm going to click this label right here. So while I'm doing this, I include the label, period, oops, make sure I get this right here, period, control down, and that's all my Y's. The X range, the market, notice this is a market minus the risk-free rate, so I have the portfolio minus the risk-free rate. Period, control down, got it. Click on output range, make sure you click in here. Excel can be real sensitive. If you're not clicked in there, it's going to mess things up with your Y and X range. Now we have 2 to 110, 2 to 110. Those have to be the same. So just put this over here, click OK, and it's going to give me my regression printout. Let me slide this down so you can see it. I want to format this. Oh, I want merge in center. Cancel. I want to go to the number. I'll go to 4 decimals. Note the beta. This coefficient on the market means the beta. It's the same one as that 0.8135. This is Jensen's alpha right here. So I'm going to annualize it, so it's going to be equal to 12 times this. I'm going to put it in percent format. And the question is it significant? Well, I go to the p-value, 1 minus the p-value. So that intercept could just be, I mean, it's an estimate. I don't know that the intercept is right because I'm trying to draw a line through dots that are not on a straight line. So the intercept is not going to be perfect. So the question is it different than 0? So the p-value tells me I'm 99.19% sure that it is different than 0. Alright, so that's Jensen's alpha. What about the Fama-French alpha? We go back to data analysis, regression, and regression remembers what I had before. So I really just need to change my X range. And the reason I have all of these together is because I need to have them all together. So let me do that again for you just so you can see what's going on. Get rid of the X. So click on market, period, go across with the arrow key, and then control down, and that has all of my X's. they all need to be together so I can give that range that way. And then my output, let's put the output right here. Click OK. And then let's give the number format so we can read it a little bit better. And then I'm going to go down a few. And this is the beta now, considering these other risk factors. So those other 3 risk factors, that's affected what beta is equal to, because again, it's just an estimate. So the Fama-French alpha is equal to annualize it, 12 times this. And here is the percent, so it's 7.11%. And the p-value equal 1 minus the p-value. So I'm 99.7% sure that the alpha is different than 0. Well, did I take market risk? So this says I took market risk, it says 100% sure, but if I add more decimals, eventually, way out there, it's really close. It's got to go eventually, so maybe not. So I'm so sure that it took market risk, it goes past the number of decimals that Excel can handle. Let's copy these down. Got to take market risk? Yes. Size risk? Yes. Value risk? Yeah, it's weakly significant. Momentum risk? No. So I have my 4 measures. The Sharpe ratio, this tells me the total risk. So if I'm looking at the whole portfolio, I have total risk. The trainer measure, this gives me an indication based on just my market risk, just the beta risk. But neither one of those I can interpret with a dollar amount. 0.23 Sharpe ratio, what's that worth to me? Well, I can't answer that. I just know I want to be bigger than the other portfolios. Jensen's alpha, you've returned 6.54% more than you should have based on the risk that you took. Well, this only tells me about one type of risk. I took market risk. Come over here to the Fama-French alpha. The Fama-French actually just did these 3. Add momentum. There's another one, liquidity. I don't have the factor for right now. So I took, this gives me more types of risk that I may or may not have taken. It gives me a higher alpha, and that alpha is still significant. And I took these different types of risk and didn't take momentum risk. Those are the primary ways to evaluate a portfolio.